Welcome ASH members to this week's Foundational Health Habit. Today we're going to be speaking about eating protein with every meal. So today's Foundational Health Habit is a relatively easy and simple one that most clients find doable. Now we're going to start getting into the strategies where we tell you a little bit more of what to eat. So level 1 is just going to be eat more protein. And then when we get into level 2, what we want to do is improve our execution, the variety of protein that we eat, and then the consistency with which we eat protein at every meal. You want to make sure that you know your protein sources. So here's what we recommend. First of all, lean meat. That includes beef, pork, or wild game, poultry, such as chicken, turkey, or duck, fish and seafood, such as shrimp or scallops, eggs or egg whites are just fine. You probably catch a hint there. If it swims, flies, or runs on the earth, it's probably safe to eat. Cottage cheese, strained or plain Greek yogurt. Protein powders can be fine, such as whey, egg, vegetarian blends. Cooked lentils or beans. Tempeh or tofu. Protein helps synthesize important hormones, including hormones that make us happy as well as relaxed. Protein supports our immune system, boosts our metabolism, helps us lose fat and stay lean for life. And then finally, protein is going to help us feel more satisfied with our meals. And this is super important if you're trying to eat to 80% full. So more protein is going to mean better recovery, less fat, more muscle, and an overall stronger, healthier body. It's one of the most important habits that you can do, regardless of your goals. And so if you're going to focus on nailing one habit consistently, this would be a great one to start with. If you eat a solid serving of protein with breakfast, it can actually curb your appetite all day long. So you do want to use plant foods as well to boost your protein intake. But here's the good part, it all adds up. So don't try to think about being perfect when it comes to protein, but more you should think about how to add protein into every meal and whenever possible. So the point here is that if you're a vegetarian, you don't have to eat just lentils or broccoli with every meal. And if you are a meat eater, you have a whole variety of different options to try and mix in with your meals to get that protein that you do need. If you're a plant-based eater, you just have to be a little bit more strategic to make sure that your body gets that protein that it really does need. Got milk? How about bloating and acne as well? This is how dairy sensitivity might hinder fat loss. Milk is an emulsion, a combination of fat, protein, and water. Because it's supposed to contain all the nutrients a baby mammal needs, milk is pretty complex stuff. For instance, scientists have identified about 50 proteins in milk. These include the more familiar whey and casein, along with enzymes and immunoglobulins, among many others. Milk fat itself is a complex blend of fatty acids, glycerols, and lipids, aka fat-based molecules. Milk contains carbohydrates ranging from sugars as well as starches. Milk from pasteurized animals contains naturally occurring vitamin A and D. But milk from grain-fed animals is usually fortified. In other words, manufacturers add the chemicals during processing, and the same is true of minerals such as calcium. You get the general idea. Milk is more complicated than just protein or calcium. Many people find that milk and dairy is a great addition to their protein rosters. However, many others find that milk and dairy can lead to digestive as well as some other problems. We're telling you about the ingredients in milk just so some of you can understand why milk may not be the best option for you. Milk contains sugars as well as starches, which some people have issues digesting. Some people also have issues with the whey and casein that's contained within milk. We don't have good or bad foods, so what defines a worse or better options has many different factors. That includes how processed the food might be, what other choices are available, and how your body responds to that food. So you decide what to eat and drink based on what you feel and what you observe. Now we want to touch on protein powder. Protein powder is a great way to help you lose fat and keep you satisfied until your next meal. Protein powder isn't magic, you don't need it. If you want to stick to real foods, that's cool too. So protein powder is a relatively convenient, portable, and non-perishable source of protein. And it tastes a little bit better in a shake than a can of tuna, in my opinion. But what you want to look out for is excess amounts of sugar and other sports supplements that you don't necessarily need. In addition to that, make sure it's got digestive enzymes so it can break down once it gets into your system. And then lastly, make sure you find a type that you know you can digest and steer clear of whey and casein if that's something that you have a sensitivity to. Thank you so much, members, for checking out our foundational health habit provided by Alliance for Shared Health. We feel confident that if you incorporate these habits into your daily routine, you're going to be a more happier, more healthier version of yourself.